Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash, the honors to apostles, elders, bishops, a great millstone who rule well and also taught me this truth. And shalom to you hopeful elect out there, and to you brothers out there. Well, that's the hopeful elect, and to the elect, you know, and to you few sisters out there that listen in silence, as the scriptures say, you know. And the ball is rolling, man. Nero 47, he's going crazy. You know, like Isaiah 19 say, man, you hand them over to a cruel Lord. And you see that's what's going on. And what they like to do is play out of their book is order out of chaos. What you're seeing right now is organized chaos, man. You know? And we're definitely in those days of Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30:7, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, the 16th chapter. You know, what is it? Revelation 12:12. It should be like madmen's. The enemy has but a short time. You know. And that's in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. They shall be like madmen, sparing none. And they not sparing anyone. Not the old, not the young, you know. Remember the raid that happened in Chicago? You know, it's called what they're doing is gradualism. You know. Oh yeah, we're gonna just sign an executive order to deploy the National Guard, and I forgot how many days it is, you know. But then, well, we need that longer, right? They come in with rubber bullets, and then eventually, you know, they have to use real ammunition. Like what's his name? Cash Patel. Cash Patel said, he said there's about over 100,000 gang members in the city of Chicago, you know, and they set it up perfect because they have ICE for the Northern Kingdom, and the Southern Kingdom is getting caught up in that as well, and then they bringing in the National Guard for the Southern Kingdom, you know, but you're gonna get some of the Northern Kingdom caught up in that as well, you know, so they not playing, you know, and we in that time. And that's why the Lord has had his men out here on the highways and byways and the hedges, you know, and putting up these epistles, you know, which, you know, we call lessons through the Europe and the Thurman, which is the internet. Psalms, the 19th chapter. You know, this is the beginning of it. Like the Lord say, like when the disciples was asking Yahushua, Lord, when will be the time? You know, Matthew 24th chapter, and Yahushua said, man, you shall see earthquakes in diverse places, nation against nation, you know, famine, pestilence, rumors of wars, you know, all those are the beginning of trouble, you know, but the end is not yet. And you got these bug outs, you know, these I don't know what these woke people, right? I could say comedic, something like that. But even they can see that the charagma is the end all be all, right? Or the be all end all, or however you say that. I just recently saw a video where the brother said, where he said, yeah, they bringing in a digital ID so they can ultimately, you know, implant that within you. But you got Israelites saying, nah, that's not what that means. You know, Motb is sin. You know, see, playtime is over with, man, because Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua is getting ready to fuck a lot of people up, man. It's beginning in Israel. You know, you even see the camps being divided on their own doctrine. One camp in particular. They're literally divided on their own doctrine. You know, and the scriptures say, can two walk together unless they agree? So they can't even agree within their own organization, and they claim to be the top teachers on the planet. You know, but you got one guy in leadership saying one thing, pursuant to the Isaiah 4:1. You know, that 7 women should take hold of one man. You know, you got one guy saying, oh, that's in the kingdom, right? We'll please take away my reproach. You know, they never read the whole verse. And then you got another guy in their leadership saying that that's right now in captivity. You know? So what the scriptures say, if a house be divided against itself, then how shall it stand? You know, if Satan be divided against Satan, how can he stand? You know, and that's ultimately what I'm back on 47, Nero and the elites. And that's exactly what they've done to America. Babylon the Great. You know, they're gonna implode it. You know, they're gonna destroy it from the inside out. Because they have the people completely divided on all fronts. Politics, you know, and everything else. You know? And like I said, this is just the beginning of sorrows, like Yahweh Shah said. Because it's gonna get worse out here. You know, it's like we were saying, it's gradualism. You know, it doesn't happen all fast at once. No. Okay, we got them. All right, now we're going to implement this. We're going to implement this. We're going to keep implementing these executive orders and bringing forth new things, you know. And that's why the scriptures say, woe unto them that worketh iniquity in their bed. And when morning come to light, they go and practice it. You know, because the wicked elite and these other nations, they take counsel. Psalms 83rd chapter, you know, of how they're going to destroy the Lord's people, man. And that's what it's all about. It's all about total control. It's all about total control. Like, who was that? Nick Rockefeller and Aaron Russo? He said total control, you know, and you seeing it. You can't get a job without the digital tag. You know, they pushing that in the UK. CBDC is going to the forefront. You know, you're gonna have to spend digital currencies. What good is paper currency in a digital world, right? They will be able to control your spending. They will be able to control, you know, your whereabouts. You know, constant monitoring. We are already under a police state and a super surveillance state. You know. So, man, make no tarry to turn to the Lord, because how long you think the Lord is gonna have his men out here, man? You know. Remember the scriptures say there should be a famine. You know, a famine of the word, and that's coming, because with all the legislation and the executive orders, you know, and everything being established, it's not gonna, this word is not gonna be around too much longer, you know, because their censorship, you know, Mr. Yahoo over there in our land is paying people, you know, to post pro Israel propaganda. And they just had it at a school, I think it was Northwestern, that you have to pass a anti-Semitic class even to be enlisted in certain schools. So the people are being re-educated right before our eyes, you know. So with that, man, that's all I have. You know, pray you were edified through the spirit and power. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Until next time, Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah.